Honest J. Nowak. Coming at you live. Alright. A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to HJN Season 2. And what we got going on here are some mini marathons that will be taking place throughout the next few days. I'd say until maybe Thursday probably will be good enough. Because today, let's get on with something different. Rituals. Now, I got myself a good idea to talk about this a little bit because of the film Ghoulies from 1985, and not to mention its sequel, which came out a few years later, 1990. I've basically gotten a shot at watching these films, and when I release a second season of films I should have talked about years ago next year, then you'll probably get to know about these films a bit differently based on my perspective from when I've just seen them. So the thing is, rituals. If you're very expert at religion, then you probably would know that certain types of voodoo, tarot card reading, and other sorts of religious practices and magic and all sorts. A lot of times these things can be done as a way to impress people of all sorts. It may attract popularity, it may attract fame and fortune, but the one thing that it might not necessarily attract, at least all the time, are good vibes. Usually there's a stigma that could follow when it comes to practicing certain religion or certain other things that have actually been condemned throughout history. And there's a lot of ancient folklore that has been unveiled, and a lot of it might seem impossible to believe, but when you really get down to it, rituals, one of many different pieces of these types of activities that religious cult members or otherwise would engage in, are certainly one part of the core of this particular iceberg. The core that is in fact way below the line that the iceberg is visible in. And the reason for that is simply because not a lot of people tend to recognize the immense dangers that these sort of things could in fact unfold. The many dangers that would take place. At a religious level, there's many kinds of people out there who might go as far to tell us that it could be an end of the world scenario before our very eyes when it is not at all true. That's only because religion is just something that just so happens to exist. Me being an asexual, liberal, atheist, agender individual is in fact quite a combo, but yet when you put that all together, you have somebody like me. And I really have to say this, that rituals are just some weird get-together, a way to attract attention to people. And the way I see it, catfishing. Literal catfishing. That's all I pretty much see out of this. A way to potentially make people distrust you, to make people despise you, to make people really contemplate what their future could be like without you. And just because I've seen the films, the Ghoulies duology, I kind of wish it was a trilogy at this point, because I seriously would want to know what could follow up both of these from 1985 and 1990. But the truth is, I guess we're probably never going to have that, because the first one was probably not good by any means, and the second one proved to be way more atrocious. Kind of like with most films out there that tried to have sequels as a way to make them better. But that's really just going a lot to saying that I'm in fact a seeker, when in reality I'm pretty much just giving the same sort of feedback as everybody else. But you know what though? This is pretty much just part of the whole thing about when it comes to telling about myths, claiming that they exist, when they really don't. And so that's basically just the end of this whole entire thing. And hopefully I don't ever have to talk about something like this ever again. But if you want to see more, go down to my channel with another new subject coming later today. Then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.